Welcome, my friends. Today we're gonna go over things that don't teach you in school, and I'm gonna speak strictly from experience of 10 years of starting some small businesses, failing a bunch of businesses. I had one successful business that was not very highly leveraged business, and I was making like about 5 figures, and then after a few years of struggle, I really learned a lot, and I worked with hundreds of other businesses, and I saw and worked on their projects, and I saw how they're doing things, and I started reading a lot of books, business books, psychology, just trying to really find out how I can go from that, like 4,000 a month into higher level brackets. Because I was working really nonstop, and I had like 10 clients at once, and still I wasn't making very much money, and my clients were really very stressful and didn't want to pay money ever. I had to like squeeze money out of them. And I really found out how I could leverage and scale and start the more appropriate businesses that are actually leveraged and scalable. And I'm more of not in bloody waters where everybody's doing that. And I was really had a lot of competition, and that was also a problem. There wasn't enough high-paying clients actually in my niche, so I had to completely redo my businesses, and I started 2 other businesses that actually I was able to leverage and scale, and I niched them out, and I was relatively successful at that. So I'm just gonna share all my whole journey with that. I'm gonna show all the numbers and everything with our actual marketing strategy with on Google, on Facebook/Instagram, email marketing numbers, and I'll show you some other techniques that we're using really to drive sales and acquire clients and prospects. So quickly we'll go over program objectives. This program we're gonna go over, so give you real strategies and tools to elevate your business to the next level. You have it right now. I'll talk about how to build a bulletproof team and how I did it. I was struggling really with really bad employees to the beginning, and whenever through trial and error, I found some really good people that I actually stayed with for many years. They're still in my team, and we work together on Skype remotely a lot. And in San Diego, I have some people there actually in person, but a lot of people from other countries that I work with just remotely, and we've been working for many years together. Raising awareness of the market. I'm gonna briefly tell you about the niche and really describe it really in detail. I will tell you how to get high quality clients that can afford you. Marketing and funnels examples, I will tell you actual real numbers. And I will really unfold how I had self-damage in my life, and then really, people just want, well, give me the numbers, But really, for me, the number one thing from a business that really made it go forward and become more successful is when I worked on myself and my personal self-development, my personal skills, and getting rid of bad habits that were really stopping me. I was a heavy drinker at some point, and I was juggling like 10 clients at once, and my quality of work wasn't there because I was stopping myself. People don't think it's a big deal, but I think that was the biggest deal for me to actually improve my sales numbers and everything, was just working on myself, self-development. So we'll talk about awareness and depth perception and application of leverage. So leverage is the second biggest thing that after self-development. Leverage is something that I've really learned, like people know about it and a lot of people talk about it, but really I will draw and explain really well how it applies in different business situations and how to actually if you really in depth know how it works really well and how to sacrifice and invest correctly to go to the next level, then you will actually implement it better in your business and your personal life. So my goal is to restructure and improve your mindset. You know, you have to uninstall those old beliefs from the 80s, right? You're not a Mac 1 computer. You want to be the latest iPhone, you know. You want some people still operate in those old beliefs and values from the 80s and 90s, and things are changing really fast now. You just gotta, like the new thing, okay, I'm gonna jump on it and test it out. You know, like Snapchat started, like why not go on there and try to get clients through Snapchat? Because not many people are dominating that niche yet, you know. There's many other things like this. There's like some messenger now, like Google Messenger, like TikTok. I just heard about it, and I think they, I want to check it out now, and I want to see if I can actually become big on it and maybe get some clients through that and get a following, you know. So whenever a new platform comes out, you have a chance to be a pioneer, to actually, you know, be one of the first ones to get famous on it and pick up traction. So we'll go over habits awareness, uninstall bad habits, and I'll tell you how I did it. Brief financial education that you don't get in school. Yes, you can get a finance degree, and you can get, you know, business degree, but still, like a lot of my friends that got those degrees, they really teach you the stuff to go work at a corporate job. They don't actually teach you stuff that is actually truly useful for you in your own business. They train you more like an employee, like you're gonna go do finance, for instance, or do like I went to school for computer science. You know, now I hire people who, you know, I pay 10 times less to do those tasks, and they're better than me. Although I'm educated in that field, I hire other people because that's not the highest value task, money generating task for me. So I'd rather outsource it to other people so they can, so I can free myself from using that time into more high money generating tasks, like acquiring clients and making sales. So, next one. Strategies I've used to achieve success myself and examples. I will talk about my first and my second and my other businesses that and the ones that failed, and some of my bad and good clients. So self-development and level of awareness was the key really for me. I go in depth about neuroscience and how your brain really works and how to utilize it in your business and towards how your clients really think. If you know the brain structure of your client, then you will really know how to sell better too. So, how to start? So you start, first you need to make it legal, right? You have to start something that will, you need a legal entity for protection, for tax reasons. You know, I do tax write-offs, like a car, my car was a tax write-off. Even at restaurants, you get 50% tax write-off. And also, if you get in illegal trouble, then LLC would take the damage and not you and your personal assets, like your house. So that's always a smart thing to operate under LLC. It's only $100 a year or so fee to stay registered with the state. So, and there's other ones like LLP and other partnerships and corporations and stuff. But in Oregon, LLC is a really good one. I think for tax reasons, it's really good. People use it for real estate and others. So now, next one is raise money, find investors, right? Money is like bloodline of your business. If you don't have it, then it will not be alive. Without the funding, we live in a capitalist society. Capital is what drives things. If you don't have the capital to drive things, you will not succeed. Get a bookkeeper, financial expert, CFO, that's really gonna help. You don't wanna do all your finances while you're acquiring, doing sales. You wanna concentrate in the marketing. What's the highest task that you can do to utilize yourself is you don't wanna really outsource marketing too much. You wanna get help with marketing, but you wanna be on top of it and actually tell. Like I work with marketing teams. I have a really amazing marketing team, a couple. And I dictate and tell them exactly what to do because I care the most about my product. I know it's the most in depth, and like I explain to them really how to accomplish things. And I also listen to them, of course, in their expertise. But you want your finances be ran by a guy. You don't want to do it yourself. It's something that has to be outsourced, I believe. If I was doing my own finances, there's no way I would succeed. I would be buried with doing things, you know? So, partner with experienced people. I did this. I had 2 investors recently and in the past. And you know, I even had clients who I partner up with later. So build a bulletproof team. Lots of trial and error, and keep best people. So yeah, it's really the process. Like for me, like I've hired so many people in the past. Like I said, I did 247 projects, and we have like 86 all 5-star reviews, like 0 even 4-star. So with all our clients from our original business, which is VideoWeb LLC, which is like, it was VideoWeb Elaborate IT Solutions. I have an office in San Diego, and that's our original business. I went through a lot of really bad employees, and I just really quickly learned to fire them now. But now I have a mindset now to actually see who is good and who isn't good. So next one, discover OSS, optimal sales strategy. So what is your best sales strategy that's going to be for your product, right? To acquire new clients, and create USP, unique selling product proposition. So unique selling proposition is this. It's going to be it's going to be what you're doing, right? What you have to offer with your business, you. That's going to be what the customer needs, customer. And there's going to be also a, this is competitor here. So you, what you're doing, what competitor is doing, and what client actually gets and needs, right? So what your competitor is doing good here and it gets clients, you don't want to be here, right? You don't want to compete with them directly. Here, nobody cares what your competitor doing if you're not getting clients, right? So you're not getting a client. And here is where you want to be. Is where you want to, what you offer, and you get a client from what you offer. So that's your unique selling proposition right here. And right here is just kind of like a mess. So, well, you want to be here. You don't want to be competing. And by being here, you niche out from your competition, right? And I'll explain the niche later. So, now, my story real quickly is, like I said, I started my original business is VideoWeb LLC. I started that business in San Diego, California. And I had pretty nice like office and stuff with a view, and I was operating, so this is our original business website. So I had a lot of clients. So we basically did, I've started this like almost a decade ago. So we did like web development, WordPress, mobile websites, e-commerce, logos. We worked with people like Navy, United States Navy, and we did a logo for their surgery department. And one of the clients actually from there came, and he became my client, and he started a nonprofit organization. So, and no, we did CAD design. A lot of CAD design we did for like houses, and if somebody wants to build a deck or something like, and we did like a lot of projects like engineering parts. Like some people will come from where they do like development of these pipes and stuff, and they come to us, we need to design the pipe design for them, and then they go and produce it. So that's the CAD designs is what we did. And of course a lot of mobile applications. We did games like Crow Hunt, and you guys heard of 4 Pigs, 1 Guess? That game was really popular. You like show 4 pics and then you have to guess and stuff. So that we built that game, and several other games and apps like messengers and stuff like that. And of course we did SEO and a bunch of other marketing. I actually partner up with some local PR firms, Luxuria PR is one of the partner firms that we have in San Diego. And yeah, so this was the original business, right? I don't really take any new clients now, really, but because we have other businesses now, but that was the business that I ran in San Diego. So the problem with that business is that it wasn't leveraged enough. So, and then after that, I've decided, okay, I was really overwhelmed, like getting up early in the morning, and like clients are calling me, yelling at me, doesn't want to pay me, but they want the work. And I don't know, maybe some of you have businesses now and they have that kind of problem. But I've decided that, there has to be something more. So I just really studied a lot, and I found out I have to leverage my time. I have to, if I have a client and I do their work, I only can do so much. So I have to build a system where the system is responsible for acquiring clients and doing their work and outsource the work. So, and I'll tell you how I built 2 leverage businesses after this. So I'll go real quickly. 8 integrities of business. First is mission, right? What's your mission of the business? Team is really important. Like I said, get the right people on the bus. Leader is important, which is you. It could be someone else that you hired that's super good. Product, they call it product accuracy. Product accuracy is all about the product. No matter how good your marketing or team or anything else is, if your product is not good, you're good and you don't have anything. No one's gonna buy it or rebuy it. You want resales. Resales is like a bloodline of your business. Returning clients, because it takes you a lot of money to acquire the original clients, but then if you you want to acquire clients for lifetime, not just for one-time use. See, this was one of my biggest mistakes too when I first started, is I acquired the client and I did a project with them and they were kind of gone. And I didn't follow up much or anything. But then I realized like I need to keep the clients and run them for a lifetime. So I started nurturing them, and I still have people come back to me like, oh, I need this and this, and I'm like, okay. Some clients like from many years ago, and just because I build relationship with them, So legal structure, you're in America, there's rules here, you have to do it correctly. System, so you want to build a system that operates efficiently, so there's you, but you only have 24 hours. But if you build a system, this system has unlimited time, because it can serve 1 million clients at one time, you know? It can acquire 1 million people, and it can give them stuff back, and it can just work for you. It can be a salesman, it can be everything. So by building this kind of system, you truly building a leverage business, and these systems are working. You put a little bit of money in it, and it comes out, gives you a lot more money, right? Then if this systems are working, this system is now valuable. It will have a valuation. So you say 45 million valuation for this system, you have a couple of investors, you pay them off, and you come out clean like 20 million. If you sell the system. The system has to be sellable, it has to work without you. See, if it works with you only, if you are required to maintain the system, that it's not really sellable because it's connected to you. You have to create systems that work by themselves. Just sell it. Independent systems will have a valuation that will sell. So, communication, of course, you have to have communication skills, and the business needs strong sales, PR marketing. And cash flow, like I said, cash is really the bloodline of business. The #1 skill of CEO is to raise money. And if you concentrate on that, you can pay for everything else. So what is the formula that I use for business? Briefly, look at what people need to solve or needed a problem, right? You brainstorm the ideas. Then, but you need to look if there's a need in the marketplace, right? Or something to improve. Like, for instance, you can go and see if there's a gadget and people are trolling about it and saying something like negative reviews. You look at negative reviews and you see, oh, this doesn't have the camera, I'll be like this, that I want it to take pictures this way. You say, okay, I go to China and see if I can develop that real quickly if they have it. Just kind of improve that product, and you shoot it to the same people who were yelling about it, and they will buy it because that is their problem currently, you know? They had that problem, you solve it for them. People are selfish, they want their problem solved. If you come to save the day to solve their problems, you be financially rewarded. And it's not really about your dreams or your goals, it's about solving their needs and problems, right? So, hire a team. You can outsource, get a local team, you know, both. I kind of had a combination always, mostly outsourced. I mean, I have teams right now in Russia and India, Pakistan, and China. China does the product development, of course. I mean, there's some amazing factories out there in China, and their product are already pretty good. Like, you just have to go out there and see, like, hey, I want it approved this way, and niche it out, kind of brand it out, and, you know, create an app for it. And I'll tell you how I did that kind of business myself too. Launch an MVP as fast as possible to make the marketplace, to test the marketplace, so minimal viable product, right? So you want to launch MVP. People concentrate on building the perfect product. All my clients are like this, almost everyone. People come and they just concentrate on perfecting their logo. 50 different reviews, you know? Their website, perfect. It must be everything clickable here and there. No, I don't like it. Redo. No, now I don't like it again. You know, no. You have to concentrate on one thing, and the only thing matters is sales and getting clients and customers. And just get your product and test it out. You know, get a decent product, get it out there, test out if people want it and want buying it and stuff like that. And if they do, then start innovating and improving. But don't spend all your budget and time. I had this mistakes many times too. I failed so many. It's like small little startups that we invested a lot of money in, and it's just I evolved my old mistakes. Like, some of my old school projects were like, my colleague Social does a website for students to like sell books on and socialize and find tutors and stuff. Then it kind of grew into a messenger. We had messenger for a while, Epic Babel Messenger. And then I realized I needed to give it a niche. So I went and I looked at my logo, and the logo has a guy with a hat on it. So I was like, oh my God, I should do hats. I don't know, it just hit me. So I went and I started looking if there's any hats and product on the market. And then I was like, okay, we're just gonna invent a smart hat. So we did. We brought it to the market, and I'll tell you about that business now and how it's doing now. And I'll show you all the marketing budget and things that we're doing for it right now and how it's working. So next, test validity of the product, right? Get feedback. Find your niche. So if you enter a marketplace and it's overcrowded, like here, there's a marketplace where people are buying that type of product, right? And if or your service. So if you're a shark here, right? And there's a bunch of people to eat. If you're the only shark, you're fine. But there's many other sharks, like, like web design or something else. Overcrowded niche. A lot of sharks are feeding on the same people, and it's bloody here. There's not enough clients for everyone, unless you're super good. I still think you can make it, it's incredibly good. I've made it with some really tough market niches before, they're crowded. It's really hard, but you still can do it. But you can swim over here, there's a smaller pool of clients, but it's just you. So you have, for instance, yoga, and here yoga for pregnant women, right? And you're already more in a niche here than these people. So there's less clients, but there's no sharks. But you gotta make sure your niche still has clients. So now, next. So now I'm gonna just go over the niche, right? So, so you have industry. You have industry here, right? So plumbing, for instance. You have here a set of problems. And then you have you here, your skill. Right? So area, your skill, market demands. So this is market demands, your skill, okay, so this is industry, this is market demands, and this is your skill. So you want people to help people to get from their current situation. So people are here, and they want to be here, right? So industry, with the niche, you need to see what problem you're solving for which industry. So this is industry, this is problem they're having, and this is your skills. So here's your niche. So you gotta see what problem a plumber's having, right? And what skill you have to solve their problem. And there's your business. And this will be a niche. So to find your niche correctly, you can look at and see what problems they're having and do research, and then maybe develop that skill and see you already have that skill to solve it. Well, see what skills you have, and then kind of see what kind of demand a marketplace need, or what industry has what problems, and see if your skill is suitable to solve that. And then you become a consultant or create that business to solve that skill. So, okay, next, I'm gonna talk just really briefly about traditional education. Traditional education, so if you all go to school to learn to make money, right? If the objective to go to school to learn money, then why don't they teach it to you, correct? So financial education is sanitized, so you can be put in a state where you don't have enough context, financial words in your mind to think correctly and make correct decisions, so the money from your pockets can flow into their pockets. But by building an awareness about that and actually putting correct context in your mind is where the money will not flow from you to other people. So for instance, if you think of your car or your house as assets, then the money will flow from your pockets to theirs because it's actually not your assets, or it's a liability, unless you monetize it. But if you think of your house you live in as a liability and you have an asset that's paying for it, then you contextually think correctly and the money will not go to the bank or other people who will collect money because you're thinking correctly on that point. So college plus job is a sales funnel that locks people in debt and to work for someone else. So I went to college, and honestly, I'm not talking shit about college or anything like that. It's a great experience. I had amazing experience in college, and but what it does is prepares you to go work for many years and save money, which is really a slow lane of getting rich. But what you need to do really is you need to increase your leverage of income right now, and you can make $1 million an hour, right? So if you throw an event, for instance, and you charge $35 per person, you have 300 people at the event, that's 10,000 people. And at the event, you go to the event, so you make 10,000 already on tickets, and then you also go and sell people at the event. So you sell them your services, your books, your product, whatever that you're offering. So you're making more thousands of dollars and creating fans and clients for life. So an event is one of the biggest leverages out there, and it's something that I use. I throw events in San Diego, Mountain Soledad. There's a club Soledad there, and I threw networking events there for local businesses, and it's a really good way to succeed and get yourself out there. So, in early 1900s, Andrew Carnegie Rockefellers took over educational system to create the factory workers for them, to educate everyone, and that still exists now. People are still creating factory workers at school. They don't create entrepreneurs. They don't actually teach you how to succeed on your own or be your own boss and succeed and do things yourself and start a successful business and actually do yourself. Your genius is often not recognized by the educational system, right? Making mistakes is punished in school, but we actually learn by making mistakes, like riding a bike. That's how our brain works. When you fall a few times, then you, by trial and error, you adjust and you start doing it correctly. The same thing works in business. So people's brains are punished from childhood to make mistakes, but it isn't correct. It actually should be rewarded for making the proper mistakes that will teach you how things really work in life, because that's how we adjust and learn. Traditional education in the brain is limiting you, and you have to expand your thinking. So, we're going a little bit on self-development now real quickly. I'm gonna bring out all the numbers and I'll show you all the numbers of our businesses as well later. But everything will make sense by the end of this presentation, because I like to bring some points out that actually did help me a lot. And the problems that we're having, I realized I started looking at myself. And once I started developing self and reading a lot of self-development books, you know, seeking help and mentorship and learning from others and from my mistakes is how I actually start succeeding. So that's why I really put a lot of emphasis in self-development in business, because that was like the #1 thing for me. And I'm sure other people as well, because we all have the same brain structure, so it will work for you. You will succeed after you adopt the mindset of 100% responsibility, right? For everything that happens. So there's always one thing inside of you that might be ignorant about, so don't be ignorant. Okay, so what's your excuse? You can give me your excuse examples, right? You have a lot of kids, your job's not paying you very much, you're sick, I mean, whatever your excuses can be. There's not enough clients out there, people can't pay me, people can't afford it, you know, stuff like that. I shouldn't have started the business now, it's the government's fault. Okay, so here's this guy right here, right? He's famous, has no arms and legs, right? Pretty good looking wife, nice children. He does all this sports, right? I saw him playing soccer, you know, like he's just this optimistic guy. Like, you guys have heard of him, right? You can give many examples. There's actually another guy that's famous that has no arms and legs. What about the girl that's the ugliest girl in the world? You guys seen her pictures? She's famous. I'm sure she's using her fame as leverage to monetize and make pretty good money. She's richer than most people, so. And there's my grandfather here. He's a colonel in Russia, and he is pretty famous. He's like on all the billboards now and stuff. And he's 95. He still drinks a little bit of cognac. He rides on a bike. And he does pull-ups. And I mean, he just taught me all these things like from childhood, like how insane it was. Like he was chasing all these Nazis and stuff, you know, during the World War II, and he was just like a kid, you know, he was a teenager, like 17 or something. And I'm thinking now, like, oh my God, why? There's no reason to complain now about anything. I can go to Costco right now and get, you know, fried chicken, all this abundance of stuff I don't even want to eat, and I still get it and eat it, like, and eat and eat and eat, you know, and then complain how hard life is, you know. So, gratefulness is one of the biggest success keys. And to me, like comparing like how I used to live in Russia, standing in bread lines in freezing weather, and how I live now, it really just makes my brain really like joyful, you know, and that kind of positive thinking is what's propelling me forward. And I think you can use that as fuel, you know. So, really super brief about the brain structure and neuroclusters. So this is really important, I think. See, I put everything on this program that's actually, I thought was the main keys that really helped me, you know? So here's the human brain, right? You got neuroclusters, you got frontal lobe and amygdala here. So neuroclusters here are formed, so you got neurons in the brain flying around or whatever. And whenever you do like a task, repeatedly over and over,